tea times. Question 1 to 8. List of headings. Paragraph A to I. Answer for paragraph A is tea, a beverage of hospitality. Its answer is in from the last line of paragraph A. Tea, now an everyday beverage in many parts of the world, has over the centuries been an important part of the rituals of hospitality both in the home and in the wider society. Second paragraph B. Tea on the move. Second line of paragraph B. Tea was first shipped to northwestern Europe by English and Dutch maritime traders in the 17th century. At about the same time, a land route from the far west via Moscow to Europe was opened. Tea also figured in America's bid for independence from British rule, the Boston Tea Party. Its answer is clear from these last two lines. The movement of tea. Third, paragraph C. Diverse drinking methods. The first line of paragraph C. As over the last 400 years, tea leaves became available throughout much of the ancient Europe, the ways in which tea was drunk changed. The Chinese considered the quality of the leaves and the way in which they were cured all important. People in the other cultures added new ingredients beside tea leaves and hot water. They drank tea with milk, sugar, spices like cinnamon and cardamom, and herbs such as mint or sage. The varieties are endless. For example, in the western Sudan, on the edge of the Sahara Desert, sesame oil is added to milky tea on cold mornings. In European and Arab countries, as well as in Persia and Russia, the tea was praised for its restorative, health-giving properties. Paragraph C gives information about the diverse drinking methods used all over the world. Fourth, the fall in the cost of the tea. Paragraph D, second line. When the price of the tea fell in 19th century, poor people took up the drink with enthusiasm. Different grades and blends of tea were sold to suit every pocket. And the fall in the prices of the tea is given in paragraph D. It is all about it. Fifth, paragraph E. Limited objections to drinking tea. Paragraph E. Throughout the world today, few religious groups objected to drinking tea. In Islamic cultures, where drinking of alcohol is forbidden, tea and coffee consumption is an important part of social life. However, Seventh-day activists, recognizing the beverage as a drug containing the stimulant caffeine from upon the drinking of tea. It states that the few religious groups object to drinking tea, while in Islamic cultures, where alcohol is forbidden for drinking, tea and coffee consumption is an important part of their social life when the people get together. Where, however, Seventh-day activists also recognize the tea as a drug because it contains stimulant caffeine. Sixth, paragraph G. Tea drinking in Africa. For over 1,000 years, Arab traders have been bringing Islamic culture, including tea drinking, to northern and western Africa. Techniques of tea preparation and ceremony involved have been adapted in Western African countries such as Senegal and Gambia. It is fashionable for young men to gather in small groups to brew Chinese gunpowder tea. The tea is boiled with large amount of sugar for a long time. Paragraph G is about how tea is drank in Africa, where the techniques of tea preparation and ceremony involved have been adapted. And in West Africa, the cities are mentioned, Senegal and Gambia. It is fashionable for young generation or young men to gather in small groups to enjoy the Chinese gunpowder tea. Seventh paragraph H. An important addition, tea with milk. Tea drinking in India remains an important part of daily life. Their tea made entirely with milk is popular. Chai is made by boiling tea and adding tea, sugar, and some spices. This form of tea making has crossed the Indian Ocean and is also popular in East Africa, where tea is considered best when it is either very milky or made with water only. Curiously, this milk or water formula has been carried over to the preparation of instant coffee, which is served in cafes as either black or sprinkled on a cup of hot milk. Paragraph H is all about the information ingredient which is added to the tea in India, which is milk, where tea drinking is remains an important part of the tea, and the Indian tea is mostly made up of milk, where it is called chai, and is also added some other ingredients, sugar and other spices. And this method crossed the Indian Ocean and also popular in East Africa. 8. Paragraph 5. Today's continuing tradition in Britain and China. In Britain, coffee drinking, particularly in the informal atmosphere of coffee shop, is currently in vogue. Yet the convention of afternoon tea lingers. At conferences, it remains common practice to serve coffee in the morning and tea in the afternoon. Contemporary China too remains true to its long tradition. Delegates at conferences and seminars are served tea in cups with lids to keep the infusion hot. The cups are topped up throughout the proceedings. There are as yet no sign of coffee at such occasions. Paragraph I gives information about the Britain and China's tradition, how they have different preferences about tea or coffee. While in Britain, coffee drinking is much popular in formal atmosphere of coffee shops, which is currently the more preferred, and the tea is in the afternoon. While in China, the tea is served in conferences and seminars, and the cups are topped up a number of times in between the proceedings. And there is also mentioned that there are as yet no signs of coffee at such occasions. 9 to 13. Complete the sentences below with words taken from reading passage 1. Ninth, for centuries both at home and in society, tea has had an important role in dash. Its answer is in the first paragraph and second line. Tea, now an everyday beverage in many parts of the world, has over the centuries been an important part of the rituals of hospitality, both in home and in wider society. And the tea has been part of rituals of hospitality, both in home and wider society. Its answer is rituals of hospitality or hospitality. 10th, falling tea prices in 19th century meant that people could choose the dash of the tea they could afford. Its answer is in paragraph D and second line. When the price of tea fell in 19th century, poor people took up the drink with enthusiasm. Different grades and blends of tea were sold to suit every pocket. When the price of tea fell in 19th century, people were able to choose from different grades and blend of tea because now they could afford it. So its answer is grades and blends. People could choose the grades and blends of tea they could afford. 11. Because it dash Seventh Day Adventists do not approve of the drinking of tea. Its answer is in paragraph E and second line. However, Seventh Day Adventists recognizing the beverage as a drug containing the stimulant caffeine frown upon the drinking of tea. Seventh-day Adventists recognize this as a grape because it contains caffeine. So, because it contains caffeine, Seventh-day Adventists do not approve of the drinking of tea. 12th, in the desert, one group that is well known for its tradition of hospitality is the Dash. Its answer is in next paragraph F. First line, nomadic Bedouin are well known for traditions of hospitality in the desert. 13. In India, dash as well as tea are added to boiling milk to make chai. Its answer is in paragraph H and first line. Their tea made entirely with milk is popular. Chai is made by boiling milk and adding tea, sugar and some spices. Its answer is clear from this line that chai is made by boiling milk and adding tea, sugar and some spices. Sugar and spices.